Welcome to Etheria Restart. So it's your first day or your first week inside of the game, and you're probably wondering what Animus should you be prioritizing and building teams around. Today, my friend Hermes and I are going to be taking you through a nice beginner guide so that you understand what your first team should look like and what opportunities are inside of the game from day one. Now, if you haven't yet downloaded Etheria Restart, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get yourself 10 free summons by scanning this QR code and downloading the game for free. There's also a link in the description if you prefer that method, and I need to thank Etheria Restart for sponsoring today's video. So Hermes, let's get into this discussion, man. I know a lot of people are excited that Etheria Restart has finally gone global and now everyone's able to play, but we need to give them some guidance so they know what Animus they should be focusing on, as well as what opportunities they have to actually pull these Animus. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, so I think it's really, really important. Obviously there's a lot of game mechanics when you come in. I remember back in beta days, so yeah, all so long ago when we were in beta, it was just really overwhelming for me when I first got into that. But then obviously when you got into the real game, it also was a little bit overwhelming. And so what's great about this release is that the devs have kind of understood the fact that you need a little bit more of a boost to get yourself through that early and mid game stages. So they've given you some additional stuff to make sure that you're really progressing through the game at a good pace. I think the first one to really talk about when it comes to the Animus you're going to start with for sure is going to be Leanne. Leanne is great. She has an entire set of hyperlinker missions that are all about her, and so you've got to skill her up at least a little bit, got to invest in her, get her leveled up a little bit, and she really is going to be a great early and mid game, I'd say as well, damage dealer for your accounts. And she's going to be a great one to use, especially as you're starting out in this game. Also, because she's free, right?
Yeah.
She's free, get her day one, guaranteed, no matter what. You will always have her on your account, and so it's great to have an Animus like this, just basically chilling on the account, waiting for you to use whenever, and be able to have that day one viability. You can just, boom, plug her into any team, and she's going to do some great damage for you. So that's, I think, a great first option for people.
Yeah, you mentioned that there's some other new opportunities that we didn't have when we started playing the game a few months back. So make sure that we let everyone know what those opportunities are. I did enjoy having Leanne on the account from day one. This is something that's been around for players that even started a few months ago when it was available in their region. But who else besides Leanne? We know that she's going to be the core of our first big team that we're building. Who else do you want to share, and how do we get that Animus as well?
So the other big thing that you're going to get just free starting out the game is going to be a quantum selector. And I think all players get this, but this is very important for new players because you're going to come into the game and you're going to go, and I know for me at least, I like to go into the game and I go, oh, I hope they have a cool kit. But when I don't understand what the kits mean, I'm going to go, yeah, I'm just going to pick the one that looks the coolest, right? Maybe you pick the right choice when you're looking at the coolest, but for me, honestly, there are a couple really, like, all their Animus look awesome, but there are a couple really good looking ones that aren't nearly as good for the early and mid game, and then also have late game usability as others. So you'll get a guaranteed light or dark unit completely for free given to you at the very beginning of the game, and that's huge. The options you're going to have from that are going to be Doki Doki, you're going to have Mio, you're also going to then have Messiah as well. Then you're also going to get, so you see Yelly over here. Yelly is actually not on this list because she is on a banner, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Then on top of those, so those are the light units. Then from the dark units, Heinrich is available. You also then are going to have Lily. You're going to have Lilium as well, and Shadow Sonya. And those are the ones that you're going to have on that quantum selector you get to choose. And so a lot of these Animus, I should say all of them have their place in the game, but
Right.
a few really, really stand out. The biggest of which is going to be Lily. If you don't know what you're doing in the game, pick yourself up a Lily. Like that, this should be your number one thing. If you don't know what you're doing in this game or you haven't played it before, get Lily. If you're like, oh, I want to try a Lilyless like account and do an account without using Lily, then obviously go for somebody else. But Lily is the big one. She is going to be used in just about every single team from early game all the way to end game. She is the craziest damage booster. She's going to help out improving your skills of your damage dealers, really going to help you improve your damage by a lot while boosting your team up. She is just insanely good. And she is, I think, the number one option for just in general for this quantum selector as you get on and go through the game. And so this is really the one that you want to pick up. along with your Leanne, and she's going to just help any of your damage dealers out, and that's going to be huge.
Why would someone want to play an account without Lily? Like, why would someone choose to not pick Lily? I don't understand that.
It's literally, I think, just for the challenge of it. Like, Lily makes things so much easier that it's basically like, oh, I want to do this without the quote unquote cheat code Animus, right? And so it's literally just, I want to play without Lily just to make my life harder. And for me, just same as you, I don't know why someone would want to do that, right? And it's just, it's funny. It's funny to think about.
So the point is, if you have the opportunity to grab Lily, grab Lily. That's going to be your best choice.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Now, the last one that I really want to talk about on these, the ones you're like guaranteed to get, is
Mm-hmm.
going to be Yelly. And Yelly is great as a damage dealer. Now, she is not a free one to get, and I want to make sure that's very clear that she is not a free um, light dark unit you're going to get just completely for free in the game, like you would get on your selector. You
Mm-hmm.
have to actually summon her, but the way that Etheria's summoning system works, there's no 50-50 system. You're guaranteed the Animus on the rate up banner after 80 summons. Now, you do need Apex prototypes for her, so it can be a little bit harder to get her, and probably more for those people that are looking to bust out their credit card a little bit. But if you are able to pull her in, or you have the prototypes to pull her in, she is basically paired, especially paired up with Lily. The two of them will basically take out almost all, if not all, content in the game. And then Leanne is going to then basically become a little bit obsolete for you, which she won't be obsolete, but she'll be not as used simply because of how good Yelly will be in your game and in your account as you progress it. And so I think she's another great one that if you can pick her up, absolutely pick her up. But it is not required if you don't have the money or the prototypes. You're not missing out on something insane, but she is good if you can pick her up.
Is there someone that you would replace her with for someone that is, let's say, a free to play player that it's going to take them too long to potentially unlock Yelly? Is there someone that would be in her place, or is that would you basically be dropping down to an SR to replace her?
So, well, you can't really replace her necessarily with an SR. I think though, when it comes to SSRs, obviously, you're gonna have your Leanne early game. Another one that is actually on the Quantum prototype, that's not necessarily going to do as much as Yelly across all of the game, but it's still gonna be insanely good. It's gonna be Lilium. So what I would recommend for people to do when you're first starting out, you get so many summons from the game early on
Yeah.
that what you want to do is you don't even want to use your quantum selector for the first like 2 or 3 days. Understand the game, see what pulls you get, because if you pull in a Lily, there's no reason to really have a dupe of her when you could just get yourself another light dark unit. And if I pulled a Lily from the from my summons, my next go-to pick would be Lilium. Lilium is crazy. She is only a single target damage dealer, but she is a boss killing machine. She is so good in all these bosses and PvE content and has a lot of really good uses in PvP as well. That behind Yelly, I think she's kind of the next one up. And if you're like, well, I really need damage dealers right now, and you're not as concerned with having a Lily, I think she is another great option. If you know you're not gonna be able to pick up Yelly, to then just go and pick up the Lilium. Make sure you have a boss killing machine on your teams, pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, and on top of that, in my opinion, she's the best looking Animus inside of the game. I absolutely love the art style on her, but that's subjective.
Oh, it's amazing. I love those weapons, dude, are sick. Her animations as well are crazy cool. Her
Yeah.
animations are great.
Something that Etheria definitely does right is they make some cool looking Animus inside of the game. All right, so we have our
Oh,
top 3 right now. What else, what other opportunities may come to players? I do like, because I remember when we were starting, I do like that you shared with everyone that they should wait a couple of days before they start utilizing their selectors and see what comes to them naturally, because you literally get hundreds of pulls inside of the game just from progressing. If we look at my account right now, and this is only from, I don't know, maybe the last month or so, I'm sitting on, how many do I have right here? 240 of the Anima prototypes, which with the pity system being 80, I could guarantee myself 3 SSRs from this number of prototypes. So the opportunities are there. So make sure that you guys are waiting to see what you need versus rushing into grabbing something that we're recommending. Any other ones that you want to talk
Yep.
about today?
Well, there's one more thing, and so this is something I'm assuming they're gonna have because they have this for the just beginning of the game. There is a additional guaranteed summon you get from you get it's 40 prototypes, regular prototypes. You are guaranteed your choice of SSR, regular SSR, not like Dark Universe, regular SSR. And
Hmm.
this is also super valuable. But like you're saying, you want to make sure that you're not getting it within the first couple days. So you see what your prototypes are looking like, who you're pulling onto your account. But something to keep in mind is that you're looking for a lot of healing. You do get Lingluo, which is she's a crazy good healer all the way up to the end game, and she is super super good, all the way through.
Hmm.
And you get her on day 7 completely for free. Another totally free SSR. The other thing to keep in mind with your 40 pull summon guarantee is that you want to kind of look and see what your account is needing. If you're pulling in Leanne, or if you're getting yourself a Yelly or a Lilium, and you've got a Lily, and you're getting this healer on day 7, honestly, the next 2 roles you really want to fill is a buffer and a debuffer.
Okay.
So buffer, you really want like your increased attack units, a unit like Freya, someone like that, or Nymphoinel. I don't know how to say her name, but she's probably the best, especially for speed runs. Attack buffer, she gives an additional attack shield, which is really good. But then the other one is debuffing. And I
Hmm.
think right now, with the state of the game, obviously Plume has just joined the game, and she is considered to be one of, if not the best, well, she's the best debuffer, but one of the best units in the game. End of story.
Hmm.
But she's kind of pushed Kloss out of that role. And so Plume is obviously a light dark unit you can't get from the Quantum Selector, and you can't get from your guaranteed 40 summons, but you can get Kloss. So I think something players should look out for is if you really are struggling on getting your debuffs, is that Kloss is a great option for you to pick up on that guaranteed SSR on 40 pulls, just to make sure that you have the debuffs coming in on your account. And then once you are able to hopefully pick up Plume, um, again, it's all random, right? But if you're able to pick up Plume, then you have Kloss and Plume doing different things in different sections of the battle. And I think that's really big, just to have a nice debuffer on your account, and Kloss really fills that role.
Yeah, that's excellent. I remember the day that we pulled Kloss on my account here. It was a good day, and it was an even better day when Plume joined our account. And I'm talking about like that was like last week or a week and a half ago that Plume, um, we pulled Plume on the
Oh yeah,
account. So
it was
definitely a good day.
crazy.
So I think this was a nice start for people. I think you gave everyone a good understanding of when they should start doing their pulls, about how many pulls they're going to be getting, and about how to basically build a solid team that can really take them through beginning to mid game content. And there's also some Animus inside of there that you mentioned that are end game Animus as well. Any last things you want to share with everyone? Last tips that you may want to give for those day 1 players?
Well, I have one last thing. I mean, it's a little bit of that like adrenaline junkie side of me, right? There is one extra type of summon you might get and you pick up throughout the game, and that's called Ascension summons.
Hmm.
And I would say and recommend that you would save up, just like I recommended to Echo here, that you would save up those Ascension summons to get a 10 pull. And the reason why is there is an achievement in the game for you to pull 3 SSRs in a single 10 pull. And you're like, what the heck? Like, that's crazy. And it's like, it is. It's crazy and it's difficult to do. But if you're able to get that achievement, you get a free golden lattice, which, as you will come to find out as you play the game more, is really one of like the bottlenecks of this game, is to get all of those lattice. So I think, since you got your 10 saved up, I feel like, obviously we can pull in a different video, but I think this might be a good opportunity to rip those 10 Ascension summons, see if we can pull anybody new in.
I mean, I'm feeling lucky, man. So I think that is something that we should do. Why don't we do that in an upcoming video? I'll have you on it as well, so you could be there for when we do pull in
Yeah.
3 SSRs in one shot. I think that's a good one. All right, guys. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you throw a like on it, subscribe to the channel for more Etheria Restart videos, and again, download it and get your 10 additional pulls right here with my QR code or my link in the description. And lastly, thanks to Etheria Restart for sponsoring today's video.